Hello gamers, and welcome to Skyrim Special Edition. I'm going to be getting back to Doom and Half-Life 2 at some point. I've had to just step away, and I've been having problems with that one area in Doom. I don't know why. I played through it the first time before, and it was just fine, and then for some reason it's just kicking the shit out of me. I don't know why. We're going to have a special look at Skyrim Special Edition and talk a little bit about it. And talk about a little bit what it is and what it isn't. First things first. What this game is not. This is not a remaster of Skyrim. This is not a remake. This is just basically a port to a new engine. That's all this is. That's it. It's just a port to a new engine. Nothing fancy. Where's my... Oh, I'm not looking at weapons. I have the wrong arrows equipped. There we go. There we go. Bolts. Three, two, one. Hello gamers, and welcome. Now, I've had to step away from Doom for a little while. I've been having some trouble with it. I don't know why. I've got through that area before and I keep getting my ass kicked. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna find out why that area is giving me so much trouble when the first time I played through it, it was just fine. I don't know why, but we'll get back to that, and we'll get back to Half-Life 2 as well. Skyrim Special Edition came along, and it hasn't quite divided the gaming community as much as other games have when it came out. Let's start by talking about what Skyrim Special Edition is and isn't. First, it is not a remake. Skyrim Special Edition is basically a port of the original 2011 game over to the new creation engine used for Fallout 4. To test the new engine, Bethesda originally ported the game into the engine to just basically test it out, to see what it could do, before they started building Fallout 4 in it. This is essentially that version, just cleaned up to make it playable. And it has mod support, and the mod menus is just exactly like you would find it on Fallout 4. So you can download mods from Bethesda.net. There are some mods that aren't available yet, some that may never be available. This is the PC version, so I can also use Nexus mods if I want to. Now, there's going to be a new tool from Nexus. Nexus has the mod manager, and then there's mod organizer. Both of those are discontinued. You can still use the existing version, but they're iffy right now. The developer for mod organizer has joined the Nexus mod manager team, and they're going to build a new tool called Nexus mod organizer. So that should be available in a couple of weeks. Also, a new script extender is being developed, and that would be good for mod developers because there are a lot of mods out there, especially on Nexus, that require it. One of the biggest is Sky UI, which is a UI overhaul for all the inventory screens in the game. Screen for your powers, various other UI elements. It also offers a control panel for mods. It's sort of a standardized thing now to use the mod configurator within Sky UI. That's become a thing. Before, if you wanted to do that, you would have to go into powers, or you would have to have spells, like here, options for wet and cold, or citizen control. That's for another mod that controls the AI. You would have to do that. You'd have to do funky things like this, and it would be funky menus and different stuff. Sky UI and the script extender allowed you to do a lot more than what the, allow you to do a whole lot more than what the vanilla scripting engine allowed. A whole lot more. Alright. So, what does Skyrim Special Edition add? What do you get for this version? Well, you get a revamped texture filtering system. How the game handles mods under the hood is different. So some mods that were originally made for vanilla Skyrim have to be ported over with the new creation kit, which developers have access to. Of course, they've had access to it for a while. And the biggest change, the biggest, most important one, is that Skyrim Special Edition is now 64-bit. Now, the original game was 32-bit, and what that meant is that there was a hard ceiling to how much RAM memory it could use. 4 gig, specifically, because 32-bit applications can only address up to 4 gigs of RAM. So no matter how much memory you have in your machine, you have a 64-bit operating system, like Windows 10 64-bit, you run a 32-bit application, it can only address up to 4 gigs of memory. Now, that was a problem. That gave you stability issues with the game when you were playing with a lot of mods. Now, some people had problems, other people didn't. Some people had just an Uber machine that could just power through it, while other people didn't. And if you had too many mods, that would basically kill your performance. The computer would do a lot of swapping to the virtual memory, and your load times would be atrocious, and you would sometimes get frame rate dips depending on how powerful your processor was, because the game, with a lot of mods and a lot of scripts that need to run, the game is juggling things around in memory and juggling things around virtual memory on the hard drive and everything, and it becomes a bottleneck for the game. Now, because of the move to 64-bit, that memory limitation is taken away. That's eliminated. So now you no longer have that memory limitation. So now you can install a ton of mods, and the impact on performance will not be that great. It will not be that significant. I've got a lot of mods on here from Bethesda Net. I installed those because there's Nexus Mod Manager is sort of iffy right now on this, and the fact that also they're developing a new mod manager, a new mod tool, Nexus Mod Organizer. So once that is out, I will start using that to install some of the really big mods that hopefully will get ported over. Like there is Castle Sage Blad that I hope gets ported over. Hope I pronounced that correctly. That was a gigantic mod. It's available on the Steam Workshop, which this version does not support. Now, there's a reason for that. in order to have mods on consoles, Bethesda had to make some sacrifices. They had to make some deals. And part of that was that they had to host the mods and they had to vet them. Now, they do the vetting for the console versions, they don't do it for the PC versions. So, you know, the consoles would only allow certain mods. I mean, you saw that with the PS4 version, which supports mods but doesn't support mods with external assets. Like, the mod that adds this, for instance, would not exist on the PS4. This is a mod that is for immersion. This adds, you know, remnants of the Oblivion Crisis. This here is an Oblivion Gate, or what's left of one. Left behind from the Oblivion Crisis, which occurred in the game about 100 or so years ago. Things like that, little touches you can't do on PS4 because it doesn't allow assets. Now, the visual improvements to the game include, you know, God rays, which you're seeing those here. See that? You're seeing those there. You're seeing God rays. There's some lighting improvements. There's, as I said before, there's a texture. There's a new texture filter. There's a new water texture. Water will also follow courses on land instead of it being just a instead of water being a flat plane that just passes through the ground. Water actually follows channels. You can actually see it following channels the way it should. There's rain occlusion, so that if it was raining and I stood underneath this arch, in the vanilla game the rain would still be coming down on me. In this one, the rain's not coming down. I come over here, rain, right here, no rain. And with the wet and cold mod, if it were snowing, there is a mod, I don't know if it's on Bethesda Net. I don't know if it's on Bethesda Net, but there is a mod that will accumulate snowfall on the ground. And you can come up under here and you don't get any accumulation on you. But I do have the wet and cold mod, which you know, makes you drip with water if you get wet, and it sort of turns you whitish a little bit. Your clothes collect snow if it's cloth. An interesting effect. It's compatible with the with various weather mods. I've got a weather mod that sort of creates some more extreme weather conditions in Skyrim. More intense rainstorms, more intense snowstorms. The really good mods, if you're wanting the really good mods, wait for the script extender to come out, then wait for the Nexus mod organizer, and then start grabbing mods that have been upgraded to Skyrim Special Edition. There's a Skyrim Special Edition page on the Nexus right now. And oh, what's going on over here? Oh. Yeah, vampire hounds, or hellhounds, or whatever they're called. Means there's vampires about. They're attacking during the day, which is interesting. Yep, Death Hound. They're attacking during the day, which is interesting. Ew. And the horse went and attacked. When horses attack. Point the way, make signs more readable. And a variety of other interesting mods I've got installed. We've got some UI, not UI, but AI enhancements, which, when dragons show up in the vanilla game, your, civilians will come running, draw out weapons, and they'll go running into their deaths. Well, when dragons show up, they run for the hills, and the guards stand and fight. Or if you're fighting somebody and you're just basically kicking their ass, instead of them just continuing to come at you, they'll run. Or they'll try to surrender. Different stuff that should have been in the vanilla game, but oh well. That's what mod developers are for. Add things that Bethesda doesn't think of, or just didn't have the time to include. Here's some of the examples of the new water effects. The new water texture.
It's so bright out here. I don't know how to stand
I mean, this is definitely an improvement over the original. So, would I recommend this? If you're a first-time player of The Elder Scrolls Online and you have a Xbox One, I mean, no, not Xbox, Elder Scrolls Online. If you're a first-time player of Elder Scrolls games, of Skyrim, would I recommend this? Yes. Get the Xbox One version. Don't get the PS4 version. The PS4 version, the mods are crippled. You have barely the same number of mods on there. If you want the best experience, get the PC version. Get yourself a gaming PC, a somewhat decent mid-range or high-end gaming PC. Wait for the new modding tools and get this game, and you will love it. You will absolutely love it. This is a great game. I mean, it's one of Bethesda's better RPGs. Definitely. So, might see a little bit more of this game. I might do a little bit more, a few playthroughs of different things. This doesn't have levels or anything like that. This is one of those games that it can keep going on and on and on. I mean, I haven't even finished the main scenario, and I'm partway through Dawnguard. You can do that. I'm a vampire right now. Mainly because of the storyline required it to a point. But that's small spoiler. Anyway, yeah, I recommend it. If you already have Skyrim on PC, you likely have this game free already if you're on Steam. And some people are just happy with the vanilla game. But, as I said, this does work better. The move to 64-bit improves stability, allows you to add more mods. You get better vanilla graphics than from the original. And you can see here, my frame rates are actually pretty good. And the visuals are pretty good. And I'm not even on Ultra. I'm on high settings here. So, as I said, if you're new to the series, consider checking it out. And even if you're not, you know, if you might already have it if you've owned this game before on PC and you had all the DLC. Well, I've been Mike. We'll probably maybe see a little more of this another time. And thank you for watching. If you liked this video, consider subscribing. Also remember that Gamers Bay is also an online community. We are a more mature gaming group. You won't find little squeakers in there. You will find kids, but they're not trolls. We're a much friendlier environment. So come by Gamers Bay. The link is in the description below. And thank you for watching. What are you doing there? Alrighty then.